What's going on, everybody? It is TripleCrown24 back today doing a card show recap video. This one is for the J&J All-Star Show down in Louisville, Kentucky. My first time setting up at this one. Typically, I'm just walking around and buying, but things worked out this time around where I was able to set up. Did pretty well overall. It was one of those that started slow, and as the day went on, continued to pick up. I feel like every hour I started doing more and more deals. Bought quite a bit today. Sold quite a bit today as well. Nothing like crazy high end, just kind of taking things in chunks, and that's really been the name of the game lately, is just making sales on those mid-end cards that are more realistic for people to buy at shows, and it's been working out. So I'm just gonna keep rolling with it, I guess, until I need to change that up. But let me show you what I got. First up here. Oh boy, this is a huge stack here. These are all Pokemon cards, and I've started setting out some Pokemon singles. I've done pretty well with them overall. This is just over 90 singles here, and they're all ultra rares or better in that stack. I did sell one of the cards out of it already to a guy who walked up to my table and saw it on the top of the stack where I had my pile of stuff that I had bought for the day. But I was able to buy those in bulk. It's one of those that it takes a while to get your money back on it. And a lot of times when I try to make these bulk deals happen, they don't always work out, but this time it did. It was with a gentleman who I've made several deals with before. We agreed on a cash price, and I was able to pick up all those. So happy with that. They're already sleeved and top loaded too, which is a huge bonus for me. That's going to save me quite a bit of time in getting them priced and set out. And I actually need a couple of them for my sets I'm working on too. So that was cool. I'll probably pull those for the sets after I finish recording this today. This is a lower end pickup here. This was a bundle. Little KD with the Seattle Supersonics uniform there. Young KD. This is numbered to 199. Just the earlier Durant card. I thought it was kind of cool, so I went ahead and grabbed that. It came with this booklet card. This is a Trending Upward booklet. It's from 2014 Preferred Basketball. That class is, of course, headlined by Joel Embiid, who you see there. But just kind of a cool one. You know, not all of these guys, like Dante Exum, Jabari Parker, really worked out all that well. But, I mean, Wiggins has had a solid career. Aaron Gordon's been all right. Marcus Smart's been pretty solid, but Embiid, of course, is the main attraction there back when he had his short hair. So I do like these booklets like this when they are affordable. They're also just good display pieces to have in my case, if nothing else. They draw attention, and as soon as I put this one back out, I did get a few comments about it. So always nice to get something that at least catches attention when people walk by. If nothing else, it can serve that purpose, right? The dealer next to me and I were working out something as well. He thought that the tables were 8 foot instead of 6 foot. That is something that I have done many times, more times than I care to admit. So I've had to kind of change things up last minute. But I had some extra space on one of my tables, so he put out his value boxes. I grabbed this stack from him. These were in his 50-cent box, and I went ahead and grabbed all of them, and he just gave them to me. So that was really nice of him. Just some numbered stuff, some sets I like, a couple of autographs in there too, which is pretty neat. So yeah, nothing crazy, but just solid value box pickups there. But I appreciate him offering that gesture. These are from Mike Baseball Collector. A couple of player era autos. I'll talk more about those when he eventually gets them in his mail stack. And then I made some trades, made some purchases on some slabs. First up, Trae Young Net Marvels here. I do like this insert set a lot. It's got that like comic book feel to it. I do like the comic book art on cards. I think it's simple, it's neat, and it just pops well. So I've always liked that kind of style of art. There's a cool AD second year blue prism. And these early prism, you just don't get them like this dark blue. I don't know what it is, but I love it. I mean, they still make the blue prisms and they're numbered these days, but it's just something about the early ones, especially 2013, second year of prism product. I don't know what it is. I just really like that a lot. This one was part of a bundle deal here. This Otani, Topps Chrome rookie, one of those it's just a card that is easy to sell, so you get it at the right price. Not too concerned about that one. Here's a cool one here, 2005 Fidus. I always think of Nate, Topps 85 401 whenever I see this set because of his quest to get the Bonds Black X-Fractor out of 25. I don't know why, but when I first started watching like player collector content, that was like the card that like stuck in my head. So I always remember that story and his quest to get that card. This is the Ortiz here, regular X-Fractor number to 250. Only one of these graded, which is kind of surprising. I feel like, you know, this is, I guess, somewhat of a random card. So sometimes maybe you would expect them not to be any out there graded, but when I was looking at this one, I'm like, I'm surprised that no one else has tried to send one of these in. Also surprising, David Ortiz is fielding in this card. When was the last time you saw a David Ortiz fielding card? And then last but not least, this was with a gentleman who I've known for a very long time, Scott, and I made a trade for this, the Chalk Toss LeBron card, PSA 10. These were crazy high during the peak. He was kind of telling me about the story of when he got this, and got it at a pretty good deal and wasn't able to move off of it before it kind of dropped a bit. So we made a trade, kind of gave him some new life on this card. You know, he got 3 vintage cards back, and I mean, vintage always sells. It doesn't matter what it is. I've never had a problem moving on to my vintage stuff. I can't even really think of any exceptions, unless it's just crazy overpriced, and then that might be an issue. But vintage always sells, and you know, he might be able to trade some of that stuff. He might keep some of it for himself. So it's one of those where it worked out for him. I think I increased the overall value of what I had. At least that's the plan. So we'll see, but hopefully it's one of those deals where it works out for both sides. I always say this, and I do genuinely mean it. Whenever I make a trade, I want both sides to be happy. Like, do I want to come out ahead for myself? Yes, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the other person has to lose. They can get something that works out for them or helps them in some way. So that's always the hallmark of a good deal for me. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today's recap video. I'm kind of tired today, so I just wanted to record this quickly here and get all these priced for the show tomorrow as I'm recording this. So thank you. Take care. Stay safe. Be kind.